Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. I am NitePHX and it is Sunday. So today I am taking out the M103, the American Tier 9 heavy tank. I am in a platoon with my brother Greyghost, who is in his M103, and Shadow, who is in his T30. The map is Karelia Assault. And it looks like we are doing the assaulting. So I've done some picture-in-picture stuff before. I thought I would give side-by-side a chance to see how that looked. In order to do that, I have to lose 25% of the screen on each side, so 50% total. But since pretty much everything happens directly in front of you, I figured why not give it a shot. Alright, so my game is on the left, Greyghost is on the right. So Shadow and I spawn together in the south. We're going to push to the west, and Greyghost is going to come from his position and join up with us. So both of our M103s are fully upgraded, so each one of us is capable of doing an average damage roll of about 400 if we can penetrate. Shadow's T30 is fully upgraded and his average damage roll is about 750. So I have my standard loadout, 20 regular shells, 10 premium shells, and 3 high explosive. Greyghost has taken 20, 0, and 13. You know, I feel there are plenty of situations, plenty of vehicles in the game nowadays that you do need premium ammo on this tank. You know, Wargaming keeps releasing tanks and they all seem to be getting harder and harder to penetrate. And honestly, there's probably very few people who are going to go, oh look, Wargaming released a new tank with no armor, I want it. But in all fairness, there are plenty of those in the game too. Okay, so I think we are finally getting close to position here. We do get, our sixth sense goes off when we get detected as soon as we come around that rock there. Back up a little bit into cover. Last thing I want to do is start my game off by getting shot in the side. First thing we see is a black prince who is almost dead. We take a shot at him and we bounce our shot. It was an auto-aim shot, but it really amazes me the amount of shots that I bounce off of black princes. Alright, we stick our nose back out from the rock there and we see the black prince sitting there burning. We're going to continue to push forward a little bit here. I want to get to that next set of rocks. This really isn't a bad spot, but it kind of limits your ability to shoot things further ahead here towards the north. So as we move up to our next set of rocks here, we do see an E75. Looks like he took a shot at me, didn't realize that the rock was here, and hit the rock. And I had to stick my nose out there to see what was down there. I got tracked by the Ag Tiger the 8.8. I think I took 2 damaging hits and maybe bounced one. There are a lot of enemy down there, and we can only see 2 at the moment. Right now I can't see any. You definitely see a lot of tracers coming from the left of that E75 down there. There's another one. And there's another shot that pretty much confirms there's at least 2, maybe even 3 vehicles over there. Hard to tell for sure. Okay, we know the 8.8 is over there. We can now see the tortoise over there. E75 is up there. He's going to shoot me in the side if I stick out too far. We're going to take a shot at the tortoise. We get 387 on him, and that tortoise goes down fast. I love it when the team works together and takes out an enemy like that. I mean, that was just bang, 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 and that guy was gone. Now granted, the tortoise isn't as hard to kill as that E75 is, but he's a difficult customer, and we did a good job on him. So Greyghost is to my left. You'll see my tank come into view in his screen every now and then. He's working on that E75. The 8.8 finally gets lit up, and we put a shot into him for, what was it, 380 something? Interesting, the few meters difference between where Greyghost is and where I am. I can see that 8.8. Greyghost couldn't see him if you looked at the screen there. So I hit the 8.8 again, did no hit point damage. I did get a track symbol, but it didn't seem to slow him down any. And the 8.8 has disappeared again. I'm thinking I want to get this guy spotted. I want to get him out of the game, so I'm thinking maybe I'll stick my nose up here a little bit and see if I can't get a spot on him. We just saw another tracer. Well, actually, there's two more tracers just came from behind this E75. And if they're shooting at me, they're really lousy shots. My guess is they're shooting at Greyghost, who is at a higher elevation than I am. And if there was only an E75 down there, Greyghost, then I could probably rush him. We've got the T-44 who's moving up, who's doing the spotting for us. But our best guess is there's at least 3 other enemy back there who have just not been spotted yet. If we come out and try and go out there to the E75, we're goners. Alright, so we have a second 8.8 show up there. We just did, what, 429 damage on him. Somebody else got some damage on him as well. I think that first 8.8 is still alive. I don't remember seeing him get killed. A blind shot into where we thought he was last. One of those 8.8s hits me in the tracks and tracks me. I've already used my repair kit. So for me, this is a really good example of the importance of having somebody spot for you. You don't have to be artillery, you don't have to be a tank destroyer to require a spotter. You know, Greyghost and I are both heavy tanks, and the only thing down there that's staying consistently lit up is that E75. Alright, so that second 8.8 shows up again. We take a shot and we bounce it. He takes a shot back at me. Somebody did anyway, and bounced off of me. Looks like Greyghost has switched to his high explosive. He's just been bouncing his shots on the E75. His HE isn't going to do a whole lot of damage on that guy, but perhaps he can maybe damage some modules. You know, hopefully if you can take out his gun, his gunner, his ammo rack, keep him from reloading so fast. Alright, 8.8 again. We've got a lock on him. We take the shot, and he is out of the game. So, light tanks, fast medium tanks, get up there and spot for your team. It's only going to make the game better. Tank destroyer, sit back and do what you do. Put binoculars on that tank destroyer. It's going to make a difference. So we're still taking shots from an invisible target. I think it is that other 8.8. And we get tracked once again. We're putting some shots into where we see his tracers coming out, but so far nothing. Looks like he must have hit my, I don't know what you would call it, the dome on the top, commander's hatch, the cupola. Yeah, it is the other 8.8 still sitting there. Just saw a tracer of a arty shell come over my head. We do another 364 on that 8.8. See, Greyghost is watching him as well. I'll be loaded first. We take the shot. We track him. Now we've got him tracked. Greyghost has got a nice steady target. And that was actually a good choice. He had the HE still loaded up. And that 8.8 was on so little health, the HE was definitely going to kill him. AP shell could have bounced. Unlikely, the angle that he was showing us. Alright, so we are down 2 tanks. We've held this western flank very well. We've taken out at least 3 vehicles who were not necessarily trying to push up on this western flank, but trying to give us some problems. The biggest problem is obviously that E75, who is still there and still alive. So we have a M103 who's pushing right up the middle there, and Greyghost hits him in the top with a HE shell and does 99 damage on him. It's enough to keep him from poking his nose over there for now. And that E75 is almost dead. We just need one more good penetration or another good high explosive round. Greyghost finishes them off. Now I'm thinking I so want to push down that western flank and try and flank this M103 who's coming up here, but you see, a tracer still came out of that position. I just can't believe how many tanks are sitting down there that have not been spotted. And there is just way too much open field before I can get to the next set of rocks for some cover down there. So we get another good set of rocks right up here. We're going to move up on the hill, see if we can't deter this M103 from coming up. Greyghost gets tracked. I think it was the M103 poked his nose up just enough and tracked him. So now we are down by 3 tanks. It's just Greyghost, myself, and artillery. Greyghost takes a nasty shot in the side from a T-29. Obviously, that's who's still sitting back on the western flank here. He may have been spotted at one point, but it's been a while. Alright, so I'm backing up a bit here. The M103 bounced a shot off me. I did take a shot in the side. It did do damage. The game did not tell me who it was. I guess there was no modules or anything damaged. We can obviously see that T-29 down there now. Judging his rate of fire, how quickly he was able to shoot 2 shots in a row, I'm thinking he probably doesn't have the big gun. So obviously my major concern is the M103 in front of me here, and now we find there's a T95. And from what I see, it looks like that T95 is coming up the slope. I do not need to get hit with him. There's only a couple of seconds left in the game. I'm going to back up behind the rocks, let the T29 shoot me, and survive. So that's it. We lose because we did not kill all the enemy or capture their base. We ran out of time. So I did 2,112 damage, 1 kill, 9,500 silver, 1,540 experience. Greyghost, 1,744 damage, 2 kills, 3,124 experience, and 11,000 silver, and a whole boatload of ribbons, medals, badges, whatever. Greyghost does come in first place. I am in 5th. Shadow's in the list somewhere. So all in all, it was actually a pretty fun game. I think we had a pretty good time in it. I think it's a pretty good example of showing the importance of lighting up the enemy, having that medium tank, that small tank, whatever it is, getting up there. You know, don't go up there and do suicide missions, but move someplace where you can get some spots on the enemy for your big guns. You know, I'm seriously considering putting binoculars on the M103. Binoculars only become active after you sat still for, I don't know, 3-5 seconds, something like that. But in a situation like that, it would be perfect, really. A whole bunch of enemy down there who we couldn't see or just kept disappearing, and if we would have just had that little bit more view range, we could have maybe kept them lit up and taken them out a lot faster and allowed us to push up. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you would click the like button. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. You'll get notifications of when I post new videos. And as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.